Right. And you know, one of our topics today is getting your kids to keep their room clean.
That's an impossible task for many.
Well, I don't know. I think we might have a solution.
Is your daughter pretty good about it?
No comment.
No comment. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Horrendously horrible, and she knows it.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
That's their little space, though, to be free and do what they want. There's no rules in there, they think.
Well, I think it is because you don't respect the things you have until you work hard for them and buy them yourself. Because I was, you know, oink, oink, pig, pig all the way when it came to my room when I was a kid. And now I am very particular about how I keep my room and my house.
My mom didn't let us be very messy. She would just about like iron our underwear, and then she'd look and see in the drawers, like, is everything kind of... Yeah, well, and now she's going to be really mad that I just told you that. But no, so, you know, kids need to have a little freedom of expression, but it can get a little crazy.
Yes, it absolutely can.
So let's see what people are saying
about
it.
We have a lot of comments on our Facebook page when it comes to kids keeping their rooms, teens keeping their rooms messy. A lot of parents are commenting on that. Like, let's see, right here we have... pronounce her name for me right there, Connie.
Socorro Martinez.
Socorro. She comments a lot. She says she just keeps the door closed.
That's a good way to do it. Ardell Candido says close the door. Once it's open every 2 weeks, supervise a clean before the cleaning crew comes the next day.
And, I love Suzanne's comment. She says, I vowed long ago to pick my battles. A clean room that I never enter is not worth fighting about. The only rule I have is no food in their bedrooms. If they want to keep it messy, it's their space. It doesn't bother me in the least. Once they leave for college, it'll be spick and span clean. Before that, it doesn't matter. I love that one.
Yeah.
I'm on that same page with you.
Well, Gerald Knotts has a simple solution. He says throw the mess in trash bags and put it out by the trash cans. And then tell your kids that if they want any of it, they're going to need to put it where it belongs or it goes out on trash day. So join the conversation. You can send us photos of your kids' messy rooms and give us the story behind it as well, and we'll help figure out how to turn that messy room into a clean one. Join us on Facebook.com/SmartFamily15. Daff?
I love that idea. Clean it or just throw it away. Well, I'm sure it's not the only solution to convincing your kids to keep their room clean. And joining us on Smart Family is Dr. Bobby McDonald, who is a professor and a doctor of psychology, joining us to give us some advice. But one question I have to ask you is that, you know, I was reading some information that you sent over, and one of the things that you say is ask yourself why they're keeping their room so messy. I love that. And welcome, Bob, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, and, you know, it is one of those questions that has a deeper answer. If you ask a teen, why do you keep your room messy? They would say, I'm just so busy, I don't have time to clean it. And most parents would say, they're just lazy.
Well, totally.
Well, you know, and it can be some of both of those things, but the deeper piece that's going on here is your kids are getting to that age where they're beginning to become independent and to individuate. Right. And this is their domain, their territory that they have in the house. So it's their way sometimes of having control or having a little bit of rebellion.
Okay, well, here's what comes to my mind. And maybe this is just me being ornery, but you know what? It isn't really their room. They're just renting it out because my child is not giving me any money to pay for these bills, the mortgage, or nothing.
That's the truth, but I bet that if you asked your child if that's her room, she would beg to differ that point.
Of course. But I do always often have to remind her. So we understand why they're not cleaning their room and maybe a little bit of the reasoning, but how do you kind of leverage that in terms of getting them to clean their room so it can be a win-win?
Okay, yes. Because what I tell parents not to do is not to create a battleground over it. It's just not worth it. It just makes everybody miserable.
So with my attitude, I've created a battleground.
Yeah, it's my room, not yours. That's the battleground. You're both going to square off. As a parent, we have to be smarter than our kids, even if they're teenagers.
Okay.
And find some leverage and create a choice for them.
So maybe like create something like, you know, if you don't keep your room clean, you can't have internet access. Is that an example? Or give me an example how, because I really want to learn how to do this. I'm going to take care of this one when I get home today.
Okay. Well, you just want to shift that a little bit and find the things that are important to them, whether it is the internet or their cell phone or use of the car. And you want to recognize that as a privilege that they have, not a right. It's a privilege. And when you attach that to the clean room, what you can say is, If you keep your room clean, then you have the privilege of your cell phone the next day. And every day that your room's clean, the next day you continue to earn that privilege of the cell phone.
Oh, that's exhausting.
But, you know, it takes the argument out of it.
Right,
because you can very calmly say, if you choose to keep your room messy, then you don't have the privilege of using your cell phone the next day.
Okay, so if you can't keep your room clean or at least respectable enough, then no cell phone or whatever it is that they value tremendously.
Right.
I wish that we could just like, I think it's a brain development thing. I really do. I really do. I think it's a brain development thing when it comes to keeping kids, for kids to keep their room clean. Because I don't think that they see, like they really truly understand what clean is and what clean is not, you know, like for their expectations. Because I'll take my daughter, I'll say, okay, look at your room. Okay, now come over here and look at mom and dad's room. What's the difference here? She's like, I don't really see the difference. And I see it, it's as clear as night and day.
Well, if she admits that there's a difference, then she has to do something about it, right?
Okay, okay.
Maybe we could say it's a difference in priorities. Okay. Your priority is to have a clean room.
Okay.
Her priority is to talk with her friends,
right.
Go places, do things, have a good time,
right.
And get the homework done, hopefully.
Right, exactly. We'll just kind of kick it. But, you know, some good advice there. Dr. Bobby McDonald, thank you so much for joining us on Smart Family. Connie, I don't know. Wish me